Hello, my name is Lilia Pernice. I'm here with Miss McPherson, a physics teacher here at Plum High School. Miss McPherson, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
I'm doing good. How long have you been a teacher here at Plum High School?
I've been a teacher at Plum for 15 years, and then I was at Pittsburgh Public for a year and a half before that.
That's cool. What classes have you taught here at Plum, and what subject is your favorite to teach?
I've taught every math class except for statistics, and along with physics and AP Computer Science this year. And my favorite is pre-calc.
That's cool. What do you look forward to every day when you walk into school?
Just interacting with the kids. I enjoy that a lot, and I love coming to work.
How did you react to the transition of going from math to physics and computer science?
The computer science transition wasn't so bad because I do a lot of that in my STEAM Studio class. The physics was a little different because it's been a couple years since I've taken over for a couple weeks of physics, and then I had to remember all the stuff from my engineering years.
Which do you like better now that you have enough experience?
I enjoy the AP Computer Science.
That's cool. And what are your plans for this summer?
I have lots of workshops to go to. I'm running a STEAM camp for middle school kids and teachers, and then hopefully do some things around my house.
That's cool. Thank you for your time. That's all the time we have for today.
Okay, welcome to physics period 9-10. I had the kids make rockets, and we're going to shoot the rockets off and see if their designs work or not.
Shoot the rockets at somebody. Everybody get down.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. I know. Okay, fix the ball.
See?
Hello, I'm Karina, and I'm here with Dr. Machoni, a teacher at Plum High School. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, what do you teach here at Plum High School?
I teach AP Physics 1 and Spanish 1.
And what made you want to teach these classes?
Physics was always something that I enjoyed when I was a high school student myself, and I helped with peer tutoring with it. And in college, when I became interested in teaching, it struck me as something that was teachable in a fun way, where you could try to make it relatable to everyday things and have some fun with it. So that was kind of the origin of that.
That's nice. And students have been talking about the experiments you do demonstrate in your physics class. How do you come up with these ideas?
The credit for some of those goes to other people. Some of those are kind of old standby demonstrations and things that other people have come up with over the years. And some of them were things that I came up with that I, again, thought would be fun for students and hopefully make things a little bit more relatable and enjoyable along the way.
I'm sure they do enjoy those. You are also the advisor on the Horizons Club. What is it all about, and how did it come to be?
The Horizons Club is a club that I started as a philanthropy. We do what most people would call drum circle style drumming, just kind of improvisational stuff that gets different groups of students together. We partner with Pittsburgh's Building New Hope philanthropy, and also the Africa Heartwood Project, which helps to provide water wells in coastal Liberia on the western coast of Africa. So it's a nice thing for the students, helps to get different groups of students together here in the building to make music, which has a lot of known benefits, and have some fun with it and try to do some good in the world too.
That's amazing. So, what do you enjoy most about the Horizons Club?
I would say most of all is just seeing smiles on students' faces. We have a lot of different students that come together to do it, not just one peer group, but kind of a nice cross-section of students from throughout the building that enjoy music, and just seeing everybody have a good time together really is one of the rewarding things to me.
That would be rewarding. You're a Spanish teacher also. How did you end up becoming one?
The district needed me to step into that role. It has faced some challenges in recent years, and they needed me to step into kind of a hybrid role. So that was kind of the origin of that.
And then you're also being a part of physics. What do you like most about being a physics teacher?
I think really just working with students who care about it and really do want to learn it. A lot of students need physics for pre-professional programs, from medical careers to engineering and things like that. So it is important for them, and seeing students be vested in it and really work hard to learn it, to me, is one of the really rewarding parts.
Being an educator here at Plum High School has to be a lot of fun. What is the best part of it?
It's a lot of fun to work with our student body. We have a lot of good people here and a lot of great students, and really is a joyous thing to work with such good people and to have fun doing it.
Yeah. And then what future experiments do you plan to add to your physics class?
There's always things that we try to do. We've talked with the music department about maybe trying to tie physics and music together with wave motion and frequency, and maybe build some instruments and kind of connect the science theory to the music a little bit for next year and beyond. So that's something that we kind of have on the moving toward the front burner, hopefully in the coming years.
That would be fun. What are you most excited for in the future for the 2019-2020 school year?
Every school year is different. It's always nice to have a fresh start in the fall and to get into a brand new year, and just kind of looking forward to that. A new group of students will come in, and we kind of see a transformative thing in them throughout the year as they get stronger with their math and science skills. So that's something I look forward to in the fall.
That's always fun. Thank you, Dr. Machoni, for your time. This is Karina reporting from Plum Senior High School.
Hi, I'm Timmy Morris here with teacher at Plum High School, Miss Devine. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
What classes do you teach here at Plum High School?
Currently, I'm teaching world cultures and modern American history.
That's good, that's good. What would you be doing if you weren't a teacher?
Well, before I became a teacher, I was an administrative assistant, but I don't think I'd be doing that. I think I'd always be a teacher.
That's good. What are some things you will miss about teaching?
I don't think there's anything specific. I think I'll miss everything, especially the look on students' faces when they get a concept and their smiling faces.
I'll miss having you in class too.
Thank you. I appreciate
What countries
that.
what countries have you been to, and what countries do you plan on visiting after retirement?
Well, as you can see by the map behind me, I've visited quite a few countries, and quite a few I've gone back to, and I plan on adding a few to the list, particularly Ireland, and some maybe even in the Middle East.
That's very cool.
A lot of kids know that I want to go to Dubai.
Oh, that's very cool. I'd like to visit there too.
Yeah.
Do you have any moments that stick out in your teaching career?
Yes. There's a couple. One in particular when I became a citizen.
Really?
Yes. I got a round of applause when I became a citizen at the junior high when I was teaching there. I will never forget that moment. Yes.
All right. If you can go back in time, would you do anything different?
In my teaching career, no. I don't
No?
think I'd do anything different. I think I like everything that has happened in my teaching career.
All right, and here for the final question for you. Do you have any advice for the freshmen coming to high school next year?
Enjoy your high school career because it goes very, very fast.
Yes, it does.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, thank you. This is Timmy Morris with PHS TV, and we're signing out.
I'm Nick Klippel, and I'm here with
Mrs. Probosi.
it's my Spanish teacher, and we got a few questions for you today. What inspired you to teach Spanish?
I knew that I liked studying Spanish, and once I started taking education classes, I knew that that was a good fit for me.
It's understandable. And how long have you been teaching Spanish?
I've been teaching Spanish for 18 years.
Well, I'm not even that old yet. Where did you start teaching?
I started teaching, I subbed for 1 year out of college, and then I was hired here at Plum.
What are some highlights of teaching a Spanish class?
Highlights of teaching Spanish class are getting to know wonderful students here at Plum.
Like me. What are the pros of teaching a Spanish class compared to a non-language-based class?
I don't know that there are pros to it necessarily, but it's just the best fit for me.
All right, and the last important question, 2 questions actually, is what is your favorite class period, would you say, to teach, socialize with?
Whatever class you're not in.
Understandable. And the class with, who's your favorite student? We're just going to put it out there.
Anyone who's not Nicholas James Klippel.
That's understandable. Thank you, Ms. Probosi, for sending it back.
Hi, I'm Cole Orvitz, and I'm here with Mr. Verica. So your first question is, how long have you been at Plum?
I've been working for Plum Borough School District for 21 years now.
What's it like teaching here at Plum?
Every day is different. I think it's a great profession, number one. Number two, being here at Plum is great because I get to interact with the students and mess around and just joke around.
Do you like teaching here at Plum?
Yes. Being 21 years, you learn the ins and outs of the job and the ins and outs of how things are running, and every day is different, but every day is enjoyable.
What's your favorite part of the job?
Student interaction would be my favorite part, along with working with the life skill kids upstairs with my partners in PE.
What made you want to be a teacher?
At first, I did not want to be a teacher. It was something that took me a few years to figure out, but ultimately, it all comes down to wanting to help other people.
What inspires you to work out?
I don't want to be the average older person. I want to work out to keep younger, feel healthier, and live a better quality of life.
What's your least favorite memory here at Plum?
Least favorite memory is just breaking up fights. I don't like the violence, and I don't like being a part of it.
All right, last question. What is your plan after you're done teaching?
When I'm done teaching, I'll probably still have to do something just because I don't like to sit still. But the ultimate plan is to move to Vegas.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Maggie Grice, and I'm here with Mr. DeLuce, a teacher here at Plum Senior High School, and we're going to be talking about his experiences and journey as a chorus teacher at the school. How are you, Mr. DeLuce?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So, Mr. DeLuce, how long have you been teaching chorus here at Plum Senior High School?
This is my 20th year as the chorus teacher here.
Well, that is quite some time. How were you introduced into the music world?
I actually went from nursing to occupational therapy, and from occupational therapy to music therapy and music education.
Okay.
So I just worked my way through.
All right. With all the options in the music industry, why did you choose to become a chorus teacher?
I really enjoyed the process of being in a choir, and I enjoyed teaching it, and so just fell in love with it. Been doing it ever since.
Awesome. All right, so out of all the schools, why did you choose Plum Senior High School to teach at?
Well, I was teaching at Bethel Park, but I had student taught at Plum, and I had the opportunity to come back, and I was willing to. So it's been a great process being here.
All right, so what is your favorite part about being a chorus teacher?
working with the students every day and working towards a performance. It's a rewarding experience to start with basically nothing. You know, we don't know the songs or anything, and just work our way to a polished performance. So I enjoy that process.
All right, so as a teacher, we know a lot of students are inspired by you, but are you ever inspired by your students at times?
Yeah, I'm inspired every day. Students are why we teach. You know, I could sing in a choir, or I could do other things like that, or have a professional choir, but students are why we teach. So the way you guys inspire me is there are times when I need to go home and read and work harder to give you more. So that keeps me growing as a learner also. So that's the way you inspire me.
All right, well, through all the years that you have been a course teacher, what do you think was the biggest achievement by them and why?
Wow. I think every year is kind of its own achievement. I think whatever year we're in is my biggest achievement. The goal is to make things better and better here as we go along. So I would say the end of a year is the biggest achievement.
All right, and if somehow any of your students find this video, what advice would you want to give them?
Don't chew gum. No, I'm kidding. Work as hard and as smart as you can at things, because at the end of the day, if things aren't done, they're not done. So don't make excuses. Work as hard as you can and as smart as you can.
All right, well, that is all we have today. Thank you, Mr. DeLuce, for your time.
Thank you. One, two, and ready, go. Take your breath. Cut that. 1, 2, ready, again. We'll be true to the Plum High School ever and a day. Flags unfurled of plum and gold in a proud array. Alma mater, alma mater, glorious, grand and true. We will be forever faithful. Hail, all hail to you.
Hello, and how are you? Today, I'm with the world-renowned Dr. Bahar Murray, formerly known as Dr. B. How you doing today, Dr. B?
I'm doing fine. I'm not world-renowned.
Well, I came to ask you a couple questions today. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right, question number 1. When did you decide to be a teacher?
In 1997.
What made you decide to be a teacher?
Oh, I just had my son, and I was in research. I would work late hours, put in summer work and everything, and my priority was my son. So that's what made me decide becoming a teacher.
Family first. Where did you teach before Plum?
I taught part-time in a private school.
Nice. What did you want to do before teaching?
Oh, I was doing research. My dream was to win a Nobel Prize. I was working on leukemia.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite subject and why in school?
Always biology.
Why?
It's applied science, so you could learn the basics, and I could go into an area where I could learn techniques or methods that can be applied to help mankind.
Very interesting. What was your worst subject and why?
Obviously, math and physics, because I just didn't get the geometry part of it. So if you don't know geometry well, I think physics doesn't go well. Plus, my teacher never motivated me at high school.
Yeah, nobody likes math. Did you have well, already asked you that. What is your favorite part about Plum High School?
Interacting with students, getting their perspectives.
Well, that's all the time we got today. I'm going to send it back to the studio with you, Mr. Barat.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Perlman, here with Mrs. Pace from Pivot Elementary School in the nurse's office. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. So I'm here today because I feel that you have had a really big impact on my life. And obviously, I wouldn't be here if you hadn't. So
Thank you.
how long have you been working here?
I'm going on my 25th year as an elementary school nurse.
That is really impressive. So you've obviously had quite a lot of experiences, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that you've impacted a lot of, right?
Well, I would hope not. I would hope that I have placed an impact on other students and families too.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
I'm sure you have. So obviously, like, I'm sure many schools would be glad to have you here, but like, have you ever contemplated working at any other school or any other place besides this school and elementary school?
Actually, no. I have the most seniority here in the district, but as you know, my love is for elementary. I mean, it's not that I don't like taking care of the junior or senior high school students, but I just have a love for elementary students, how they think, they make me laugh. I enjoy getting to teach them about their health conditions and just developing that relationship and that trust with them and their families.
Yeah. I can always remember coming down here and having the best time waiting for my loads to come up and just getting to tell you fun stories, and it was always a fun time coming down. Mm-hmm. So how do you always keep up with all the students? Because I know elementary school students can sometimes be a handful, and it's a lot to handle. So how do you handle it all?
Well, you just have to prioritize what's going on, and sometimes it's not even the health conditions that require prioritizing, because everybody may be sitting there with a scraped knee from recess, but sometimes you have to take the person who's crying the loudest or something like that, Obviously, you do prioritize health conditions first, but sometimes it's just as simple as that, and it's just reassuring the kids. And the paperwork always gets put off until the end of the day, sometimes the next day, sometimes taking it home in the evening. It just depends upon how busy it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of late nights with doing paperwork, because I know you care a lot about the kids that go here, and you do spend a lot of time with them, and you really care.
I do a lot.
So what is it like working as an elementary school nurse?
Very busy. No, it's very rewarding. I love the job. People come to you with different levels of knowledge, and sometimes it's great to be able to educate not only the students but also the families on how to take care of the health conditions, so that the kids can be healthier and more ready to learn when they come to school.
Yeah. So you said you can help the kids with their knowledge and stuff, and I know you personally help me so much with my health and everything. So how do you teach the kids that their health is important? Because I'm going to say right now, personally, I would not be as healthy if it were not for you and teaching me. So how do you teach them?
Well, you have to start at the level that they're at, and you have to find out what gets them going, like what they are ready to learn and how they're ready to learn it. Sometimes it's just a matter of just repetition, And sometimes it's a matter of letting them know that, you know, they have one body and that no one's body is perfect. And we all have issues, whether we can see them or not. And we all have to learn how to individually take care of our own bodies to promote our best health in ourselves. So I try to do that with the kids, whether they're asthmatic or diabetic or have food allergies or whatever it is. I try to get to the basics with them and then build from there.
Yeah, and it's a really important thing that you do, and I really appreciated that you did it with me. So, obviously, you have had a lot of experiences with kids, and you made an impact on their lives, but can you tell me of a time that a child has impacted your life or an experience that impacted your life?
Well, actually, the experience that impacted my life the most was the experience with you, because I had never worked with a dog that was trained to be a diabetic dog, and that was such an exciting thing for everyone to work together as a common goal. We had the fundraisers, and we all participated in that. And then you got your dog, and it was the training and the integration of having your dog here, and how amazing it was to see that Daisy could sense, you know, your lows and your highs and alert everyone to it. It was just a great learning experience for me, and I truly enjoyed it. And your family was so supportive of everything too. I mean, your mom was just terrific, and how she, you know, educated everyone about the dog, and you know how we integrated it into the school. It was really great.
So I'm sure with the dog, it was a new challenge for you and stuff, because I know, like you said before, you had never even really heard of the diabetic alert dog. So how did you overcome that challenge of finding something new and having to kind of deal with that and learn about it?
Well, I always feel like anyone can teach you anything, even if it's somebody a lot younger than you or somebody a lot older than you. And I welcome new challenges, and I always welcome the opportunity to learn. And it just excites me to be able to do that, and then to take that knowledge and share it with others. So it was very easy integrating everything into the whole school system. And we had our challenges, of course, but you know, we worked together on them, and we were able to make a difference and, you know, get everything worked out well.
So can you tell me, like, how did you know you wanted to become a school nurse? Was it just like something you always knew, or was it something that like came to you during high school?
Well, during high school, I volunteered at a local hospital, and at that time, my uncle was very, very ill, and he was dying. And so I spent a lot of time in the hospital and in his room and everything, and just watching everything that went on with the medical staff and the nurses. And I knew from that time that I wanted to be a nurse. And so I became a nurse, and then I did the whole broad experience thing. I worked at the hospitals. I was an assistant head nurse. I was a head nurse. I worked in home care as a visiting nurse and a discharge planning coordinator. I worked in many different departments. I worked with kids, but my love was always for kids. And I always knew that I would return to that setting. So when it became, when my son got to be at school age, I thought that was the perfect time for me to go into school nursing.
Right. So it sounds like you kind of knew you wanted to do something with kids and with nursing most of your life.
I did.
Right. That's awesome. So thank you for spending your time with me and taking time out of it. And like I said before, you've had such a huge impact on me, and thank you for teaching me everything that you've known. You will always be one of the best people that have come into my life. So thank you for everything.
And thank you too. It was a great opportunity for me. I loved having you as a student. You were always so wonderful and so cooperative and willing to learn, and I appreciated that too.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, back to you guys.
Hi, I'm Dom DiPassino, and I'm here with
Mrs. Piper.
and we're going to be doing an interview. So, what made you become an art teacher?
At first, I didn't know I wanted to be an art teacher. I went to school as an art major. I would come back from college and do some coaching, and I put the two together, and I decided to become an art teacher.
With sculpture being a new class, how's it doing?
I love teaching sculpture this year. I had 2 great classes in each semester that made it really easy to try new things and come up with some project ideas.
Which of your art projects is your favorite to teach and why?
I really don't have a favorite. I really like assigning things that bring out people's creativity, that shows their personality and maybe like just shows some of the emotions they might be having that helps them.
What do you and your students do to help out with prom?
Prom starts in the beginning of the school year. We start talking about like the theme and what we might order and how the stage is going to look, what the centerpieces might be, gifts, anything like that. It's really a year-long process.
What has made you stay at Plum and teach?
I really like Plum. I think it's one of the best places in the world to teach. The kids are fantastic. I love my room. There's not too much to complain about. I really like my job.
What's your favorite part about being an art teacher?
I guess just, even if a student doesn't think that they're good at art, usually we, bring out their creativity, and you get to see people like be proud of what they create, no matter what level they might be at.
And are there any opportunities for professional development?
There's a lot of opportunities for professional development in teaching in general, but for me in particular, I'm going to school at Slippery Rock University right now to get certified in special education.
All right, that's all we have time for. Let's send it back to the studio.
Hi, I'm Delaney Marzina, and I'm here with Mr. Jasper, a chemistry teacher here at Plum High School. How are you doing today?
Good, Delaney. How are you doing?
I'm good. How long have you been teaching at Plum High School, and did you teach anywhere else before?
Well, I'm finishing my 22nd year here at Plum High School, and this is the only school I've ever taught at.
Wow. Did you know you always wanted to be a teacher?
No, my first degree from IUP was in business, and I worked in business for 3 or 4 years, and then I went back to school.
Interesting. What's your favorite part about teaching chemistry?
When you just see the little sparkle in the little kids' eyes when they're learning something new for the first time, and they just look so excited.
What was your favorite subject when you were in school, and why?
I loved home ec.
Why did you love that?
Because you make stuff and, Rice Krispie treats and the such.
Interesting. If you could take a dream vacation, where would you go and why?
Probably Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Why?
Because it's an interesting place. I've always wanted to visit either Kalamazoo or Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Interesting. What do you believe makes a good teacher?
First of all, you got to be patient. You got to be prepared to take on whatever might happen that day. And you got to know your stuff.
If you had to pick any other career, what would you choose?
That's a toughie. Probably, I'd maybe be a fireman.
Interesting. Can you give us 3 examples of your catchphrases?
There's always toot, clutch, or what do we got left here, about 17?
Okay, very interesting. And we're going to send it back to the studio.
Hi, I'm Denny Ayers here with Mr. Rick Barat, the television productions teacher at Plum High School. So, Mr. Barat, what made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, back in the day after I graduated from here at Denny in 1987, not to age myself or anything,
I wanted to go into business. I went to Pitt, and I started to tutor in mathematics, which eventually opened some doors in English and communications, and that's what eventually I majored in, and soon after I received my certification.
That's awesome. So why did you decide to teach at Plum?
My first job actually was a sabbatical at Moon Area High School, and then since that was only 1 year, Plum had some English sabbaticals open. I applied and got that job, and then everything after that was kind of like a domino effect. The TV job opened up, and I kind of slid right in.
Well, we're glad you decided to teach at Plum.
Thanks.
So what is your favorite part about being a teacher?
I think doing this stuff here, like whether it's an interview or students are filming or editing, like teaching TV, everything's a little bit different. I really enjoy when the light bulb goes off in, a student's brain and they realize they just did something. That's a good thrill for me to give them the building blocks to move on and, in whatever subject or in life.
Very nice. And have you taught any other subjects other than television productions?
Yeah, here I've taught English classes here before, college writing and public speaking.
Nice. And what makes television productions different from other classes?
I think doing stuff like this, it's always a little different. The concepts are always the same, but whether we're interviewing a teacher or another student, making a show, then you get to edit it, but then you get to see your work, and it's on YouTube or the cable station. I think to see the results, your friends, parents, mom, dad, parent, or guardian, they see the results, and I think that's an important part of the process.
I agree. And I know you're involved in Make-A-Wish. How have your classes helped out with Make-A-Wish in the past?
Well, as you guys know, the TV2 students go around to all the buildings in the district, and they videotape all the fundraising that occurs, and then the TV3 students are the ones that put together the show.
Nice. And what was your most memorable Make-A-Wish moment?
I think every year at the end, when it's finally done, we're here for 2-3 days beforehand, late at night, early morning that day. I think that final reveal of how much money the whole entire community and district has raised in the end of, whether it's a 4, 5, 6, 7 hour show, it's a win-win for everyone involved. Make-A-Wish wins because of all the money we raised. You guys win because we put together, there's no better experience than a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-old students putting together a live 6-7 hour show that even, as Mike Clark has said from WTAE, even the professionals sometimes struggle to do.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Barat. Now let's see some highlights from the class.